Hi, Shweta. My name is Ellen, and I will be correcting this essay for you today. Let's take a look at what you wrote. First, we've got the English and Homestay letter, so let's see what you have to say about this. Dear Sir, Madam, I am Shweta Malay, based out of India. It is delightful to write this letter in regards with my homestay at your house for next 1 month. I have been selected for the English and Homestay program by University of London, and I am an art graduate student with specialization in English. This will be my first visit to UK, and I am excited to explore the new country and its culture. Okay. I like that it's formal. That is appropriate because it is a formal letter. You don't know these people, and so that's fine. I didn't love some of the language because I felt it was rather unnatural. Okay. So the first thing that we do in a formal letter is we state the reason why we are writing. It's the first thing we do. It's one of the conventions of letter writing, formal letter writing. So rather than starting straight out with your name and who you are, I would have preferred something like, Dear Sir, Madam, I am writing to express my gratitude um, regarding your offer to host me during the homestay, during the English and Homestay program. Okay, so that would have been nice. The first starting off by saying that you're writing to thank them for hosting you. That would have been a good start. Okay, then it would be okay to say who you are. I am this. Okay. Um, this felt a little unnatural to me. It is delightful to write this letter with regard to, you have to be careful with regard. A lot of people use it incorrectly. So it's good to learn the different um the different expressions with regard or regards. So one thing that I usually advise students is to just stick with one and just use that. So with regard to would have been better. Um, and this was awkward for next 1 month. We don't say that. So at your house for 1 month. That's it. Or at your house next month. Also good. Okay. So with regard to my homestay at your house uh, next month. Okay. With a specialization in English. And this was fine. All right. Let's continue. You don't put a comma after since. So let's do this. Since I will be traveling for the 1 month program, and the reason I've put the here is because this way you're referring back to English and Homestay program. Okay. So the shows us that we know which program you're talking about. And if you think about it, it's a nice way to create cohesion with this previous paragraph. So since I will be traveling for the 1 month program, you don't need a comma, and would love to hear from you. Okay, what happened with your grammar here? Since you had this since here, I assumed that there would be a an additional clause saying what reason this shows us. So let's get rid of since. You don't need it. It's not helping you, and in fact, it's making this sentence wrong. So let's try it again. I will be traveling for the 1 month program and would love to hear from you uh, regarding which tourist attractions I can see in London. Okay, transferring to a new country for a month program. Now here it's either a 1 month program or a month long program. Okay. All right, so transferring to a new country for a month long program would barely give me any time for cooking. So it would be great if you could here help me by recommending nearby affordable restaurants. What kind of easy commute would you recommend? Get rid of me. Would you recommend to reach my university from your place? I guess those are my immediate doubts. Now, here suddenly you're getting informal, and I'm not really crazy about that. I would have preferred more formal language here. So you could have said, these are the concerns I have presently, or these are the concerns I have at the moment. Okay, that would have been fine. My flight will be arriving at the airport by 4 o'clock on Saturday, 12th of April. As already informed and suggested over mail, I don't like this direct metro. I will take the metro at the nearest station to your address. Let me know if you have any additional information or guidelines to provide me about my stay and about the city. Looking forward to meeting you and your family. Awaiting your response on my queries. Fine. Now, since you started your letter, dear sir, madam, it's supposed to be yours faithfully when we don't know the name of the person we're writing to. Also, lowercase second word. Okay? So I think you did fine. I think there are some errors and some areas of awkwardness. Um, but on the whole, it's a good attempt. I don't remember if in your email you told us what score you need. I just think you said you were having issues with writing. If you're aiming for band 7, I would like to see some of the areas that I commented on improved. Okay, that would help you um, in obtaining that score. Let's go on to your task 2. I think this is about international marketing. Let's see what you said. Now, first word nowadays is one word, so we don't separate it. Okay. Nowadays, all global companies are expanding their horizons. We don't really say this. We use expanding your horizons in a metaphorical way to say that you're growing, to say that you're exploring new opportunities, and so forth and so forth. We don't use it in this kind of way to talk about companies and their businesses. Okay? So, I would change this for sure. Let's see. Nowadays, all global companies are expanding their business into various countries through international marketing. Some say, without that S, it is an invasive, careful. It is an invasion. You need a noun here, and an intrusion into the country, while others argue that it is an important and economical form of education. And all right, what happened here? You're completely copying what's in the question. You can't do that. You have to change this language around. You have to make it your own, and you have to show that you're able to paraphrase, okay, with your own vocabulary. So you took literally chunks from the question and just put it into the essay, and that's not going to work, okay? So I'm not going to rephrase it for you, but I do want you to use your own way of saying this. Then, I don't want you to give your thoughts on both topics. I want you to tell me your position. It says discuss both views and give your opinion, but you didn't give your opinion. And you need to do that if you're aiming for band 7. Your position needs to be clear throughout the essay, throughout the response. It's one of the criteria for task achievement in band 7. Presents a clear position throughout the response. Throughout means from the beginning to the end. So, if in an essay like this, you talk about one side, you talk about the other side, and you don't tell me your opinion until the end, I have absolutely no way of knowing your position until your conclusion. And that's not going to help you get a band 7. Okay. So make sure when it says whatever the command is, whatever the question is, make sure you answer it in your introduction. So, on one hand, global marketing is becoming a threat to the local business in the country. Organization located around the world invests on advertising to capture customer base across the countries. All right, grammar here is a problem. I don't understand this sentence. I don't understand what you're trying to tell me. I think you're trying to say something like organizations located around the world without a comma invest in advertising to capture a customer base in other countries. I think this is what you mean. Okay, but you can see that I had to make a lot of changes in order to get that. Okay, where is used incorrectly? You could have said something like, however, small country businesses have difficulties to even capture their own state because of less budget. Now, you have to be careful here because some of this vocabulary you're using is not helping you. So let's try it again. Organizations located across the world invest in advertising to capture a customer base in other countries. However, small country businesses have difficulties to even capture their own market because of a smaller budget. Consumer focused ads and eye catching offers have an edge over traditional ways of marketing. For instance, McDonald's apostrophe S, get rid of the organization. For instance, McDonald's has used a significant amount of their profits to mass market their food brand, and according to the New York Magazine, they have around 40,000 franchises throughout the globe. Also, by keeping in mind the country specific food habits and people's food choices, the menu is majorly popular amongst the kids and the youth. Okay, first of all, I don't love kids here. You could have just said amongst the youth. Now, let's talk about where the problem is in this paragraph. For me, it's task achievement because you started talking about um, advertising, and that was good. So you started talking about small countries, or rather small businesses, that they're not able to do this, and then you had this example about McDonald's. I didn't really love this here. Okay, that's not what this is really talking about. So here you kind of lost it for me. So up to this point, you were okay in task achievement. You said where small country businesses have difficulties in even capturing their own market because of a smaller budget. So here I wanted this sentence different. Okay. Um, it could have just been given the fact that these international companies have a much larger budget than local companies, they're able to use more eye catching advertisements than local businesses can. The result is that um, these small local businesses cannot compete, therefore, feeling that the marketing used by these international companies is hurting their business. Okay, that would have made it on topic. All right, because remember, why is it an invasion and an intrusion? Here, you start talking about the specific food habits and you lost it. Here, you talked about McDonald's and you talked about the franchises. You didn't talk to me about invasion and intrusion. So you needed to do something different in this sentence, showing the contrast between multinational companies' advertisements and small local companies' advertisements to show why the local companies feel all of this is invasive and intrusive. Okay? So when you're writing your sentences, you have to ask yourself, is this providing further information to show why I think international marketing is invasive and intrusive? Okay? If your sentences are not doing that, then maybe they shouldn't be there. Let's keep going. On the other hand, some think that this is the best source of creating user awareness that provides knowledge on technical inventions throughout the product upgrades, as well as keeps the roots of the nations intact. Okay. For example, the promotional video of an Indian car Tata's Jeep gives us an understanding of its powerful technology, comfy seats, innovative engines, and affordable mileage for hilly places. While targeting the market outside of India, I don't know why. Okay. While targeting the market outside of India, comma, they have filmed the content in the beautiful Himalaya mountains, which shares a culture and marks of Indian heritage. All right. So what's missing for me here is showing me why this is international marketing and why it, why it is a form of education that shares ideas, cultures, and knowledge and language even. So you started on the right track, but you didn't really keep going. It might have been good if you had told me or, told the examiner that these advertisements are shown to neighboring countries. And in fact, let's not forget what international marketing is. it also talks about international marketing is also modifying the message in order to make it palatable for another audience. So, in other words, you're not going to show, like an Indian car company is not going to show people in traditional Indian dress. It's going to show, um, maybe if you're advertising it to a Chinese market, you're going to show maybe a Chinese couple driving the car, even though it's an Indian country, an Indian company. That's what international marketing is about. Modifying your message to entice the customer in a different market. Okay. So I feel like while you're on the right track, you haven't quite grasped what you're supposed to be talking about here. In my opinion, there is no harm. I don't understand this for country businesses. I don't really like this for country. It's not it doesn't capture the meaning you want to capture. So, in my opinion, there is no harm for local businesses if they learn through global marketing. And all right, please don't use the word inculcate. I really find a lot of students, um, especially in like particular parts of the world, they love to use this word. It's just not natural. All right, a native speaker would never use this word, and it's one of these things that is taught, and I'm not sure why. I know people think, oh, it's high level. You need this to get a band 7. It's not true because it's not a natural word, and um, you just would never see it. Okay, so let's get rid of it. In my opinion, there is no harm for local businesses. Let's try this again. In my opinion, there is no harm. You need to tell me about international marketing. In my opinion, international marketing does not harm local businesses if they learn through these practices and incorporate them in improving their own businesses. I think you're trying to say something like this, but again, the language is a little rough and it's not carrying the meaning you think it carries. So, Shweta, it's a nice effort. There is work to be done. Um, you need to upgrade your general language skills a little bit. Okay. Again, what I'm telling you is if you're aiming for band 7, you need to improve the general language skills. Make sure that you're expressing in a natural, accurate way the ideas that you're trying to express. Um, and then, of course, some of the issues that we talked about in terms of task achievement, they need to be improved as well. Okay, so I want you to take a look at the online course. I think you're going to find that really useful for you. I would like to see you getting that level of structure and that level of just knowledge and training, because I think it will help. Okay, take a look at that and see if it's something you're interested in, and I look forward to working with you. So good luck.